This program is a very noble program because it creates a platform for Nigerians to engage with their leaders, especially as it has to do with this arm of government, the legislature. I really appreciate it. That is one of the things we've been seeking as Night Assembly, to clear the wrong perception that is out there. Perceptions, may not be reality. Appearance may not be reality, and most time perception is created based on misinformation or half-baked information. And platforms like these create an opportunity for the House to tell their own story by themselves. So I really appreciate this program, and I really appreciate those who are loyal to this program by tuning in every Thursday. I encourage you to keep doing that. Now, talking about perception, we notice that most Nigerians don't understand the function of the House of Representatives, and that affects their expectation management, the management of the expectation. And it is our duty, especially as the chairman of public affairs and media, to keep on moving from one radio station to the other, one television station to the other, to keep on engaging through our town hall meetings to clear this opacity, and also to clear this perception, replacing misinformation with facts. Having said that, if you ask me to rate, a man is not a judge in his own case. In law, we say nemo judex in causa sua. A man is not supposed to judge himself. Also, a man is not supposed to blow his own trumpet. But is a man supposed to tell the truth at all times? Yes. And what is the truth? The truth remains that, comparatively speaking, this Ninth Assembly has done exceedingly better than other assemblies, especially the most recent one. In terms of bills, like you just mentioned, quality bills, we have done about 834, out of which 600 and about 39 has gone through first reading, waiting for second reading. We have about 105 of them that has gone to the committee level. We have about 65 of them that has gone to committee of the whole. We have 41 of them that has passed through third reading. We have one that have been negative, we have two that have been withdrawn, and we have 36 that have passed through, waiting for concurrence by the Senate, because we practice bicameral system of government. Now, having said that, most people will always ask, what were the things that this is not in the quantity, it's in the quality. People are beginning to ask, what did they seek to address? The power sector, was captured there to make it better. The bills took care of physically challenged people. The bills took care of students who are intelligent, who cannot access education because of no fund to give them interest-free loans, and a whole lot of other relevant, like the appropriation bill that came right on time, right in time. Nigerians have been used to waiting forever before they get the appropriation bill passed. And that has been the problem of this particular government in the past dispensation. So when we arrived, we noticed that there was this disconnect between this arm of government and the executive, and also a disconnect between the public and the legislative arm because of misinformation. On the part of the executive, legislative disconnect, it was lack of understanding, and the presumption that checks and balances amount to throwing blows at each other. Checks and balances means, wearing your boxing glove every day. Does that mean, is that the full meaning of checks and balances? The answer is no. And who suffers when these two things happen? When the executive fights legislative arm fights the executive, the citizens, they don't gain. For example, budget was delayed for 6 months. And you know who suffered? The president has a particular limit he can be operating his administration with, without appropriation. But the citizens who needed to activate their economic projections, they were not allowed to do that because the budget has not been passed. So the citizens will always suffer when there is this acrimony. So we thought it wise that our own dispensation will bridge the gap and make sure that we maintain the principle of separation of power, the principle of checks and balances, but with the understanding that though we are independent arms of government, we are still one government. That was the understanding we came with. And that informed the mantra of the leadership of the House, who came and said, nation building is not the duty of executive alone. Nation building is not the duty of legislative arm or the judiciary alone. It's not the duty of the ruling party alone. He said nation building is a joint task where every hand must be on deck for us to move the nation forward. We took that message and we ran with that vision. And that was why immediately we said, these hydra-headed problems that we have in the country, how do we solve them? Using legislative intervention. And we have instruments with which we work in the National Assembly. Those instruments include bills, motions, petitions. But the structure upon which, the fulcrum upon which the National Assembly operates is the House committees. So we made 95 House committees, but we saw that the hydra-headed needs of Nigeria was much. We decided to increase it from 95 to 105. And we left it in the hands of capable people to manage. And before the coming of the substantive House committee, we had what we call the ad hoc committee. Between the time we arrived in June and September, these ad hoc committees were out there working for Nigerians. What were they doing? Some of them, the ad hoc committee, they were used to attend to the problem in Bauchi State. If you recall, there was a problem with the State Assembly in Bauchi State. So we didn't just arrive and started sitting idle. We started working. We went to Port Harcourt because of the oil spillage to oversight the agencies, relevant agencies there. I was there. I was also in Bauchi with other people. From there, we went to look at all the ship yards across Nigeria. Why are they not activated? Why do we only have 2 in Lagos? What is happening to Calabar? What is happening to Port Harcourt? What is happening to Delta? We went, and among other things we started doing before the House committee came in, started working fully. Now the House committee started working fully on the basis of a framework, a roadmap that we created, which we called the legislative agenda. That was the plan of what we want to achieve in the 4 years of our administration. So it covers social justice, it covers education, it covers the power sector, it covers the reform that was needed in the national budget, it covers a whole lot of other items, agricultural life, unemployment, and all the rest of them. People have called it very ambitious, but we have seen they are achievable. They are achievable because they are spread over timelines, and they will not happen in a day, but they are the ones that guide us towards the motions that we produce, towards the bill that we bring. Having spoken about bills, we have also come up with a lot of motions. We have done 364 motions in the last 1 year. And out of these 364 motions, only 1 was rejected. And these motions were used as one other instrument of legislative intervention to address needs in our society. You remember when there was the xenophobic attack on Nigerians in South Africa, motions came to that effect. Misappropriation of funds, spending outside budgetary allocation by NDDC, motion came to that effect. Attack against Nigerians in China, Motion came to that effect. And I can go on and on covering all the sectors of our economy. Motions were used to be able to put the pressure on the executive to be able to monitor what they are doing, as we are like the watchdogs of the executive. So beyond these motions and bills, we have what we call petitions. Most Nigerians don't know that we have another function that appears like the court for the common man. If you don't have money to run to court and pay all the bills to lawyers, we have a platform to adjudicate on your behalf. It's called the Public Petition Committee. What we do there is to address the problems of Nigerians using legislative intervention. And at the moment, we have handled about 151 petitions in this committee, and they are all relevant towards solving the problem of Nigerians. Like I said, we are a people's-oriented parliament. People-oriented parliament that is interested in what pains Nigerians. Going forward, before you come in, we have also used what we call legislative interventions and diplomacy. What does that mean? When we had a cry, if you remember recently, we had a cry from one Miss Ada who was on social media saying, we are locked down, we are at home, there is no light. Something needs to be done. What did we do? We called the stakeholders, we formed a stakeholders administration list and called all the stakeholders that will make that happen. The power sector, we invited them, even the CBN. How do we give light to the people, within this period to be more consistent? When we heard about the strike that the what is it called? The electricity National Union of Electricity Employees wanted to go on. We came in and we said no. That was on the 12th of December. On the 5th of December, on the 5th of December as well, in 2019, we intervened and said teachers' welfare should be, increased than what it is at the moment. We also intervened in March when we heard about the health sector in FCT wanting to go on strike. So we have been using we also intervened when ASU went on strike for 2 weeks and we said call it off. So we have been using this diplomacy to engage them. When we heard about what was happening in China, we invited the ambassador of China and we say, why are you treating our people outside the provisions of the convention that we signed, diplomatic convention that we signed with your country? And the issue is being treated as we speak. I can go on and on, but I don't think your time will allow me to do that. Let's start the conversation. Okay. I'm sure there are a lot that will come up while we continue.